Hey guys, how you doing? Good, thank you. Overall, just talking to the guys at halfway point in the season, I think it's really important to, continue to make it difficult to come here and play. I think our guys' mentality, and the persistence that we had throughout, um, combination play, the way that we try to create. I think the imagination is there within our group. The difficult thing, comes into when teams drop off very deep like that and kind of pack the space and they really sit. You have to be patient, and I thought that started to see a lot more maturity from our group, throughout the game, and it's always going to be difficult here playing at home. We want to take the offensive. Would have liked to have had maybe one or two in the first half for sure. But overall, 3 points today is excellent. Rochester had a draw with Red Bull, so for us, it's just continuing to push the points and get to the top of the table, which is really good. So we're happy with the guys and what they did today.
This is two games now. Jimmy's had a pretty big impact against his former organization. That's something you and I talked about after the game over there back in April. But that must be a pretty prideful moment for you as a coach to see that happen.
It is. I think that a lot of the guys are actually taking a lot more accountability, to make a difference in the game. And we talk about that throughout the week. And, individually, you're going to change the game. So collectively as a group, if everybody does that a little bit more, makes everybody better. So it's great to see Jimmy in the right spot there to tuck one away. I thought he was good at running at people today. No hesitation from him, which was fantastic. And, to be fair, I thought we at times defended quite well. In terms of the difficult thing that you always get caught in. You see this even in the Euros right now. You see teams that are sitting, being very compact, and they're looking to exploit spaces in behind. We start pushing numbers forward. So it takes a great deal of patience and focus, from our guys, and discipline to not concede too much space on the transition. So I thought overall our guys did well.
You mentioned the idea of imagination. I mean, that's kind of like an attacking mindset. But then in the back, you've had two consecutive clean sheets. Do you think that you're finally getting, the best product that you've had from them throughout the season?
Products from who?
Or just having the back line not conceding. It seems like it's a little tight.
No, I think you always want the clean sheets, especially when it comes down to Mike's car wash. I think it's really good. So, there you go.
I mean, with Austin, now making the bench, does that change up anything?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's another leader that's in there talking, giving good information. You see Mitch Hildebrand leading from the back as well, too. Great distribution and when to slow the game down and when to be patient. So, overall, the clean sheet helps because it builds confidence. And I think the players are starting to understand that, in this league, it's going to be difficult on both sides of the ball. You can't just entertain. You can't just combine and go forward. You have to make sure that you transition properly and get back in behind. And, to be fair, I think our wide midfielders did a good job of doing that today. It was excellent. And then when we switched to a 4-4-2 and we bring Omar Cummings on, I thought they panicked a little bit and they dropped off and conceded more territory in behind. He's got that pace to get after you, and I thought it was great. I thought a lot of the guys that came off the bench, almost all, well, to be fair, all of them, everybody contributed.
Is it different going into another road spell with two away games when people are finally healthy as opposed to last time where it kind of looked like you were happy just to get through it without, losing a match there?
I think you go in stretches. I think our team understands that too. That people keep bringing up to us that hey, undefeated, undefeated. But I think we go in stretches where we focus from game to game. Number one thing I think that we're making better decisions on the field. We're managing games well. We just got to carry that on the road. We have two big important games on the road, really difficult ones, and defending champions, Rochester. We got to be up there. It's our first time going up there, so we'll see how that goes. And then the transition into St. Louis. So, right now I think the balance is very good. I think we're seeing that we're progressing as a group. And to be fair, at this point, there's been accelerated progression with this group. Great chemistry, great fighting and sacrifice for each other. And to me, on and off the field, when you have teams like that, then that's a huge part of the success.
As far as incorporating Austin back into the team, is it an open competition and training every day, or are you just going to ride the hot lineup?
No, that's been from day one. The boys know that. I've spoken to them, and it's always going to be competition for spots. Guys, that are competing, people that are getting into the 18, guys that do well in training and show that, they got to earn that spot. So I think it's good. It's healthy. And, the number one thing is you start to look at it from a competitive standpoint. It takes good characters and maturity to actually work with each other, push each other, and so I think the guys overall looking at the big picture, there's a lot of sacrifice right now in this dressing room, so I'm loving that.
How would you assess how Paul Nicholson's done in there?
It's done well. Like I said, weeks before, when Austin got the injury prior to the game in training, we gained another player, without a doubt, because a guy that, he has experience of playing as a center back, but mainly has been a number 6 and really sitting in the holding midfield role. So his distribution, his calmness on the ball, his great decisions, the way he reads the game, has done very well. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you. Great music.
Two clean sheets now. Must be nice to field questions about that as opposed to
Yeah, the
late
first 4 or 5 times I came in here, yeah. No, it's good. I think it's good for the confidence up and down the team. Our defending starts, as a full team, with Sean working hard up top, and then all the way down, all the way back to me. It's not just the back line. It's not just me. When Jimmy squeezes the hole or Weta squeezes the hole, and then Kenny sits in underneath in front of the back line, and it's just a team effort. So.
Do you think there's been any sort of difference over the last couple of weeks as we've kind of seen that back line tighten up, at least from your perspective?
No, I think it's just training. I mean, we're a new group, so we don't have a core, and that's what we're developing. We're developing a core. We're developing a chemistry. We're developing a culture here, and when things start clicking, it just goes from there. So I think that when we stop making little mistakes that we were doing in the beginning of the season, it's a lot more comfortable for us, and we can see games out. All set? All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mitch.
maybe, like I said to John, I guess this is 2 impact games you got against your former organization. Does that mean more to you playing against your former organization?
It's definitely a little extra special, I think. Of course, when you're playing against a team that you used to play for, you want to make a good impression and do the best you possibly can. So, I go into the game thinking it's like any other game and prepare the same way, and just happened to score 2 goals against 2 of my former organizations.
I noticed you had a couple conversations with some of the guys on Bethlehem after the game, maybe as long as 10 minutes. What did they have to say to you?
Yeah, we were just kind of joking around and catching up. Ryan Richter, the right back, who I was playing against all games, is actually one of my best friends. So it's always fun going against somebody you know really well. So it was good friendly competition, and it's good just to catch up with them a little bit after the game.
You just have a knack for being in the right place at the right time. 'Cause, I think 2 of your goals in May came off rebounds.
Yeah, I don't know if it's intuitive or whatnot, but I try to put myself in good spots all the time, and I think the more you do it, the luckier you kind of get. So I happened to be in a good spot today, and it just kind of fell right to me, and it was a tap-in. So.
Was Omar going for the goal, or did he mean to send that right?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't really know where the ball was going, but I've always been taught to put it in the goal and never leave it. So I just redirected it just a little bit and put it in the goal, and I guess unfortunately for Omar, I might have stolen his goal, but for the team, we had to put it in the back of the net somehow. So.
With the backline playing well, does that help confidence knowing that there's not as much pressure necessarily to score 2, 3 goals, stuff like that?
Yeah, I think as a group we've really tightened up a lot. We've worked a lot over the last couple of weeks on our defensive shape, and I think it's evident now with the last couple clean sheets we've had. So, as Mitch was saying, the defending starts from the top down, and I think at times we were putting too much pressure on our back line by the midfielders and not being tight enough, and the forwards maybe being in not the right spots. But we've kind of clarified our roles a little bit, and I think it's paying dividends for us. So whenever you keep a 0, you can't lose the game. So going into that, we know if we get a goal, we should be in a good place.
Do you feel like you have more freedom now to work on the ball, confidence-wise?
Yeah, I think whenever you're putting a 0 up, it gives the squad a lot more confidence. So it's nice knowing you don't have to go out there and win in a shootout 5-4 for sure. So we know we just have to go out there. We have to put the work in defensively as well, but I think what you're saying is true because it does give us maybe takes the pressure off a little bit to score a bunch of goals. So good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.